I started watching ROH wrestling because I heard a lot of opinions on the internet, whether it be from the ROH bots who really hype up and really say uh, how great and how awesome ROH is, and how they always have 5-star classics. And I've also heard from people who do nothing but rip and hate on, or hate complete haters of ROH and completely bury it no matter what they do. And then I've seen the very small minority of people that really only who really only make their ROH reviews as objective as they can. If they put on a good show, they'll say it was a good show. If it was a bad show, they'll say it was a bad show. People such as the Slig Daddy from Off the Roof Show, such as T.G. Perkins from uh, the British Fist, and so on. So after hearing all those opinions, I figured I would check it out. And so I got a GA membership because I didn't want to get a regular membership where you had to pay $8 a month to see it on Monday. So I said I see it on Thursday, only to discover that I get on this CW station I get where I live actually carries the Ring of Honor on Saturdays when it actually airs. But that's okay. I guess I can still see it on Thursday again if I want to see the show again. I already see it on Saturday, and I can still, buy the DVDs and merchandise and internet pay-per-views if I want to, since I have a membership now. But anyway, I've been watching it for a few weeks now, like 3 or 4 weeks, and I feel like I've seen enough of it to at least have an opinion, somewhat of an opinion anyway. For what I've seen of it so far, I'm gonna give my fair and honest opinion of what I think of ROH as a company, as a brand, and just as a product in general. But I'm gonna cover the good things. So if you're an ROH hater, don't watch this video because I might actually praise ROH. And I'm gonna say the good things about ROH. I'm also gonna see the bad things about ROH, what's bad about ROH. So if you're an ROH bot or an ROH mark, don't watch this video because I actually might call ROH on something about what's bad about their company, and I might actually criticize ROH. So don't watch this video if you're an ROH, a flaming ROH bot. But please watch this video if you're a fan of ROH like myself, because after seeing it for a few weeks, I can now say that I'm a fan. Yeah, for the most part, I like ROH as a company. If you're just started watching like myself, or if you've been a fan for a while, but you're not a flaming bot, and you don't, and you're not, or if you're a hater that claims to be a fan, and you're just calling them out, but yet you bury every show they ever do, and say they suck, even though you claim to be a fan, you watch, and but if you're just a fan, but you do realize that there is a lot wrong with ROH, please watch this video, because I think I'm gonna make some good points. Some people might disagree with what I said, some people might completely agree with what I'm gonna say, but at any rate, I think my video is going to be interesting. So let's just dive into this. And here we go. I'm going to start with what I like about ROH. What's I think's good about ROH. For one, I think it's great to see a wrestling company that's PG, but that has blood, has chair shots to your head, and that has swearing, fins. But it's nice to, it shows that a wrestling show can be PG and still be edgy and and bring a little bit of controversy and that even though it's PG, it's not just a watered down kid show, unlike a certain company up north, brother. But yeah, I also like that unlike other companies such as TNA and WWE, they actually put effort into their mid card, the real feuds. Well, that just don't last for like 1 or 2 months, but feuds that will actually last for a long time, and they actually put effort in real effort into their mid card, and actually make it look like their mid card belts, their tag team belts, and the television title mean as much, even though they might not mean as much as the world title. They still mean something, and it's nice to see them do that. And it's which leads me to my next point. The ROH, another thing about ROH I like is the fact that they for the few storylines they do, they're usually good. They usually, again, actually last long. You get the sense that they're actual feuds, not just feuds that these two don't have anything to do, and this guy don't have anything to do, this guy don't have any feuds, so let's put them in feud. It seems like they're like actual feuds. It's it's also nice to see a company, ROH, who really does concentrate on the wrestling, unlike WWE, who seem like they're ashamed of wrestling and will go out our way to call themselves a sports entertainment company, and we're also make movies, and we're not a pro wrestling company, we're sports entertainment, or a TNA that says they're all about wrestling and said where wrestling matters here, and we're called Impact Wrestling. Yet they still have like 20-minute promos and with like 4 or 5 matches. So it is nice to see a company that not only says they're not ashamed to be called a wrestling company, but it also shows that actually backs it up by having having matches, more matches than the other companies. If it seems like I'm starting like slow, I'm kind of out of it, and I'm not really all that there. It's because I've got a bad cold and headache, and I'm really not feeling good at all. So I just wanted to get my opinion of ROH, out there. But anyway, that's what I like about ROH. Now I'm gonna talk about what's wrong and what I don't like about ROH. And also, if it's the first thing I'm going to talk about is, even though I said the storylines they do is really good, and I like that they do concentrate on the wrestling more, is that they don't. The big problem they have is they don't have nearly as much storylines as they should, and they really. And without story, and I'm sorry, ROH Box, but 60 years of wrestling history shows, as the guy from the Off the Road show has put it perfectly, said it perfectly when he said 60 years of wrestling shows that you need storylines, you need to have guys cut promos, you need interviews. Otherwise, the matches just seem like random, especially the ones on pay-per-view, random, just put it together at the last minute type of matches, and you don't really give a shit who wins. Because it seems like there's no reasoning for a lot of the guys to even have a match in the first fucking place. Another problem is that they really have only one type of guy in the main event scene. Type of guy is that guys like Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards and Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. The guys they seem to really only push for all the people that bash TNA for only pushing veterans and the 40 and older club brother, and for all the people who bash WWE for only pushing muscle bound roided up freaks. ROH really only pushes the high flying, spot monkey technical type of wrestler. And believe it or not, that's actually my favorite style of wrestling. I love the high flying and technical wrestling of Bryan Danielson / Daniel Bryan or Everson Carver or Rey Mysterio. I love watching Lucha Libre style wrestling or New Japan wrestling, pro wrestling. I like watching that style, but after a while, after seeing it over and over and over again, especially in the main events, you just get tired of it and you don't want to see it anymore. And the guys that do wrestle a different style, like the Tommaso Ciampas, the Mike Mondos, and the Mike Bennett's, and for all the people who bash Mike Bennett, yeah, he might not be a good wrestler, but he definitely has some good mic skills, and it's very exciting to watch. And it's great, can tell great stories in the ring, and yeah, he might not be as good a wrestler as someone like a Davey Richards, but he's a guy that can draw a lot of money for their fans. Instead of having someone like him at the main event, they choose to spotlight guys like Roderick Strong, which gives me another problem with ROH, their lack of mic skills. It seems like the guy, and lack of mic skills and lack of character. It seems like the guys at the top are all bland. Yeah, they can wrestle. And I'm sorry, ROH wrestling alone doesn't get people to go to arenas besides the ROH boss. Doesn't get people to watch your TV show on a weekly basis. It doesn't get the casual fan to start watching your show. If they ever want to attract more fans, they need people with more exciting characters and people that can talk on the mic. And you just need that type of people at your main event. I'm sorry, to balance out the people that can wrestle that doesn't have the mic skills. I mean, and really, at one point, Davey Richards is a good wrestler, but he just isn't good enough to be a main event, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. Another thing I like about, another thing that I forgot to mention that I like about ROH is that they do spotlight guys that, let's face it, might not have a chance to really be a main eventer anywhere else in WWE or TNA, but he's just not a main eventer. There's so much people that are so much more deserving that can not only wrestle but can talk on the mic and have a good character. People like Mike Mondo, or Bill is 7 foot tall, but he's only like 5'7". You know, I really like Mike Mondo. He's good. Like people like Mike Bennett. You know, he again, it's ROH spots, but wrestling alone doesn't put asses in seats, or doesn't get as many people to buy the pay-per-views for ROH, or the internet people's pay-per-views they really can't get as many people to buy the internet people's as they should or could, and they really can't. They really can't. Losing my train of thought there. They really can't have. They really can't get the casual fans to watch their shows on a weekly basis. So you need guys like Mike Bennett at your main event. I'm sorry, but anyway, guys like Jay Lethal, I think he's way more deserving. And, you know, instead of having a mid-carder in this feud that really, with Tommaso Ciampa, and I like Tommaso Ciampa, that really makes no sense, why not really establish him as a main eventer? Because he can wrestle. He's a very great wrestler. And he's also can talk on the mic very well. He has a unique finisher. You know, that lethal injection, which is springboard into a cutter, or RKO, or diamond cutter, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and Shelton Benjamin. The problem, you know, WWE really dropped the ball Shelton Benjamin big time by really only having a mid-carder. Having him as a mid-carder when he really should have been a main eventer at some point. I think he definitely had the wrestling and mic skills to be a main eventer. And ROH is really making the same mistake by, again, only having a main eventer. I mean, a mid-carder. Botched that, just like John Laurinaitis. But yeah, he seems so much more talented than Charlie Haas to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the tag team of World's Greatest Tag Team, or Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team, whatever you want to call them. I very much enjoyed them in WWE, and I enjoy them in ROH. And ROH could have had him team with Charlie Haas for a little while when they first signed him and Charlie, and they even put the tag team belts on him. But then after that, to me, I would have used that to split up. After they dropped the titles, I would have had Shelton turn heel. I would have him turn on Charlie Haas, and then after a short feud between him and Charlie Haas, I would start to establish him as the top guy, and I would put Shelton Benjamin and I would start to establish him as a top guy, and at some point I would establish him as the top heel world champion for that company and give him a good, 7 to 8 month reign, because I think he really is that talented. The same goes for Jay Lethal. I would give him a long reign as well. Only I would have him a top babyface because I think he works very well as a babyface. But three major problems that you can see right off the bat is the code of honor, the fans from streamers, and the poor production values. And the problem I have with streamers is I know they don't have, TNA doesn't have the money to afford a bunch of pyrotechnics, but really, streamers, I know that works in Japan, but this isn't Japan, this is the US, and I know they don't have enough money to get good. As for the production values, I know they don't have money to get the good, great production values that WWE and TNA has, but really, Go Fight Live sucks. I mean, they just suck. I mean, they can't find something else to have their internet pay-per-views on. And like, from what I heard about Showdown the Sun, you know, the first night they had a bunch of technical difficulties. The second night they had a blackout, so you couldn't see a bunch of matches on the card. You know, Go Fight Live sucks. They just need to get off there. In the Code of Honor, as Slag Daddy said it perfectly when he said, as 10 Reasons ROH Sucks video, that in a bar you don't see two people shake hands before a fight. They, oh, best of luck to you, they say. They punch their fucking teeth out, each other's fucking teeth out. And I can understand after a long, 30-minute classic, having them shake hands for the sake of good storytelling. But just to have them shake hands before every match is just stupid and pointless to me. Like, really, that's how you get heels and face overs, by not having them shake hands? That's the big reason. Instead of having something, to have them do something like turn on their tag team partner, or insult the crowds. That's what you do. Oh, I don't respect you, so I'm not gonna shake your hand. Fuck that. I hope ROH gets rid of the whole Code of Honor crap and altogether. Another problem with ROH is their old school booking. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's stuff like jobber matches and cheap heat and cheap pops, I think, that are old school booking that can still work today. But there's a lot of stuff ROH does that just doesn't work today, such as that whole March Mayhem crap they did. That may have worked, and stuff like that may have worked in Smoky Mountain 1992, but this is ROH 2012, and no one wants to see a bunch of people have a tournament or fight over fucking money. Banning the pile driver and instant DQ. If you hit a pile driver, that's so stupid. This isn't AWA in the 70s, and Kevin Steen isn't Jerry the King Lawler. You don't need to do that. That's just bullcrap. But yeah, and a $5,000 grand fine if you hit someone with chair shots ahead. That's so stupid. Again, get rid of these excessive old school booking. It's just pointless. It just doesn't work in today's wrestling. You know, another problem is really, again, like I said, Davey Richardson is your world champion. What a joke. And before that, Roderick Strong. And, you know, these guys, they have pushed these guys to the fucking moon. And really, they're, again, like I said earlier, they all wrestle the same style, and they all suck on the mic. Every time they start talking, it makes me want to fucking mute till they're done. Hopefully, which brings me back to they need more diversity at the main event. Hopefully, Kevin Steen pile drives, and the pile driver will be legal. Davey Richards for the ring and pins him 1, 2, 3, and they give him a long, 8-month reign. And don't ever put that world title back on Davey Richards again. I'm sorry, he's just boring as fuck. He's a good wrestler, but there's so much more people deserving in that role than him and a lot of guys I mentioned, like Eddie Edwards and Roderick Strong. And the biggest problem with ROH by far is the ROH bots or fans. Is the ROH fans, all they do is, no matter what, like I said earlier, is hype up the matches, and no matter what, every match is a 5-star classic, and he's never a stinker in ROH bullshit. Just like TNA, just like WWE, ROH is gonna have its fair share of great 5-star matches and its fair share of shit matches. And its fair share of matches that were just okay. If you watch a show and you do a review, and please, if it was a show, great matches will speak for themselves. If there was a great 5-star classic, say it was just a great 5-star classic. If it was a horrible match, and it's like 15 to 20 minutes, you can never get back, say it was that bad. And if it was just it was okay match, say it was just it was okay match. But don't hype up all the matches like they're all awesome. And ROH can never do any wrong. And no matter what, it's always a classic. It makes the great matches. It makes it lowers the fans, people who are just watching, people like me, opinion of ROH, because it makes the matches that were great get underrated and underappreciated and make them seem not as good as they don't get the credit they deserve. Yeah, but that's the problems with ROH. Overall, like I said, I do like ROH. And just like TNA, just like WWE, even though they have a lot of gaping and obvious problems, I try to look past those problems for the most part. But I will call them out on their problems, like I am in this video. But yeah, subscribe above, comment down below, like this video. Make video responses, all that, and tell me if you're watched ROH for a while, or if you're just started watching like me. Tell me what you think of ROH. Tell me if you agree with what I had to say, or if you don't agree, or whatever. All that, and see you when I make my next video.